Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Gamer Guide channel, and we're going to be looking at some more Robocraft today and talking about the brand new Phase 2 patch that will be released tomorrow. And the notes have been released, and I thought I'd go through those and read those for you guys and give you a little bit of my feedback on them. And also be looking here at a couple of my robots, as you can see here on the screen, and showing you some of the games I've recorded recently too that were going to be for future episodes, but I'm going to go ahead and just show them now, as all the robots and everything I make in the future are probably going to be totally different than the robots that I've made prior to this video. So pretty much everything from before March 1st, 2016 is going to be kind of subjugated to the archives of history, as we kind of come into this new era of Robocraft, with each robot having their ability to have multiple weapons and ability to also use some of these new defensive tools that I'll be talking about at length here in just a little bit. So as is a tradition with Robocraft, this is kind of revamping the entire game yet again, as is kind of the tradition with Free Jam. They seem to like to take things back to the drawing board and totally redo them and relaunch and change everything. So I'm hoping this time it's going to be well received and it brings more players to the game. I do like a lot of the things that are being added, so I'm being real optimistic here. But it is just a major change from what Robocraft has been up until this point. Alright, let's get started. We got lots of notes to go over, and I'm going to go ahead and add my commentary here within the notes themselves too. It says here at the beginning here, coming tomorrow, Robocraft Maximum Loadout, also known as Phase 2, and the next major expansion is finally here. Here are the notes for the update, which go live tomorrow, and tomorrow is March 2nd, 2016. First item here on the list is new Blink module. It's a new high-tech gadget for your robot. You add it to your robot and assign it to a loadout key to use it. You aim your crosshairs and push the assigned key to activate it. Your robot will instantly teleport to that location at the end of your crosshairs. If your crosshair is on a ground location within the target range, you will teleport to that location. Otherwise, you will teleport to a point at the end of the crosshairs at the maximum teleport range. You need to practice with this module to get the feel for its maximum range. And the Blink consumes a lot of power and also has a long recharge time. So, interesting, there's a couple new elements here, power and recharge time, and I'll explain those a little bit more as we get in deeper to the notes. Let's go to the next item here. It says new disc shield module. Activate by pointing your crosshairs and pushing the assigned key in your loadout. A small fusion shield will be created at the location of your crosshairs in a shape of a disc. The fusion disc has the same properties as your base fusion shield. Example, you and your enemies can drive through it and shoot through it, but your enemies cannot shoot through it. By activating the disc shield, consumes less power than a Blink, but still has a longer recharge time than a Blink. If your crosshairs is on a ground location within range of the shield, will be created perpendicular to the ground plane. If your cross is in the air or beyond the maximum range, the shield will be created in the air at the maximum shield range. So interesting, you can kind of direct that shield to go wherever you want to go, above you or to the side, and it will protect you in that kind of a disc form. And at the end here it says, again, you'll need to practice with this module to get the feel for this maximum range. So that's going to be pretty interesting. It's two new modules we're getting. One's going to add kind of a ability to get away really quick or get moving really quick towards an enemy, depending on how you want to use it. The other one's going to help bring a more defensive game and I think better teamwork to the game too, so it should be interesting to see how that new disc shield module especially works out. Let's go to the next item here in the patches. It says new loadout system. It says for the first time ever in Robocraft, you can now put many different types of weapons on a single robot. The loadout system has 5 assignment slots. Each weapon class or module you add takes up a slot. As you add new weapons, classes, or modules to your robot, the loadout system dialog pop-up will ask you to assign it to a slot. Using the dialog, you can easily rearrange your assignments as you like. You can also bring up the loadout system dialog by pushing the Z shortcut when building, so you can tweak your loadout at any time. Your loadout is saved separately for each robot in your garage. Top mount laser wasp and front mount laser wasps are in the same class, so share a slot, whereas laser wasp and laser blaster are in different classes, so will take up different slots. In combat, pushing the loadout assignment keys 1 through 5 on your number pad will select the weapons in that slot in real time with no delay. Switching is instant and free. It's interesting, you can have these different kinds of weapons now on your robot. you can basically assign each of those different abilities to one of your number pad keys, as I was saying, 1 through 5, and then use them at any time you want to. And I'm glad it's free, and instead mentioned that at the end there, because I think people would be a little pissed if it was something you had to pay RP for. Let's go to the next item here now. It says the new power bar. All weapons and modules now consume power, which you can think of as a resource, much like mana in a fantasy game. The power recharges over time, 100% recharges in 10 seconds. So now we have this power that you're going to run all your weapons off of, your modules, shield, all those kind of things are going to run off the central pool of power. It takes 10 seconds to recharge, which is a little bit longer than a sniper rifle takes to recharge right now in Robocraft. Let's go to the next item here under new power bar. It says, if you use all of your power and then switch loadout, the weapon you switch to may not be able to fire, so you need to manage your power consumption carefully. Manage, it says, weapons and modules also have separate recharge times. These are shown as a progress bar around the outside of each of the weapons in the loadout at the bottom of the HUD. So each of the weapons are also going to have their own cooldown timer, so you can't just use like sniper rifles and then switch immediately to plasma and then start using those. So it's kind of a safeguard measure, but should make it interesting and make it a little bit more of a strategy now when to use your weapons and how to time things. Next part here says, the recharge time determines the fire rate of a weapon. Adding more weapons of the same type often decreases the recharge time and thus increases the fire rate. The power bar resets to 100% full on respawn, but recharge times do not reset on respawn. Recharge times continue to count down even when the weapon is deselected in loadout, or if it has been shot off, so healing back a module or respawn does not instant reset its cooldown time. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, so even though you get all your power back after you regenerate, your weapons could still be going through cooldown. And if they get shot off and then you get them instantly healed back, you can't just use them right away because those have to still cool down for how many other seconds you have left after you had just released your last volley of plasma or sniper or whatever it is. And I guess theoretically SMGs are going to be on a timer now too, so that should be interesting to see. Let's go here now to the next part, which is weapon improvements. All weapons have been significantly reworked to integrate them with the power bar and loadout systems. Lasers are now real high-velocity projectiles as opposed to hit scan, and therefore you now need to lead your targets depending on its distance to you. The damage of the lasers has been increased to solidify the lasers as a close-quarters weapons, as it is now much harder to hit distance and moving targets. Plasma launchers now fire its projectiles separately in a round-robin fashion. You can pulse the trigger to fire one projectile at a time, or hold the trigger to unleash all your power bar in projectiles in a single clustered volley. Managing the power bar carefully is important with plasmas, as there is a 10-second recharge limit. Full volley drops to once per 10 seconds. So once every 10 seconds, you can fire like a full plasma blast at somebody and just cause utter damage, or you can fire them as smaller, less powerful shots one at a time, is basically what it's saying there. Next thing says, to compensate for the reduced frequency of plasma alpha strikes, the plasma explosions now do an increased amount of damage in the center and a significantly increased amount of splash damage around their blast. So plasma just got a lot stronger, but it takes a lot longer now to fire it. So that should be pretty interesting. Next item says, Mega Plasma now fire one large projectile with a huge blast radius and with increased damage to match. So hopefully Mega Plasma got a nice boost. As I always kind of thought, Mega Plasma was the weakest weapon out of all the Mega weapons. So we'll see what happens here. Next item here says, the rail cannons also fire round robin, and you can fire as many as your power will allow. So I guess you could have more than just a couple of, like 6 sniper rifles you wanted to. You're just kind of limited by how much power you have. Rail cannon shots are now real projectiles, no longer hit scan, and therefore you need to lead your shot just like you do with SMGs now. The velocity of a rail projectile is greater than a laser, though. So they're going to fire just like the same style as the SMGs as far as being real projectiles now. However, they move a lot faster than the SMGs, so it might be a little bit easier to hit something at range with the sniper rifle, but still harder to hit flying objects. The 6-gun limit has been removed. Recharge times now decrease further when you add more than 6 weapons of some types. Rails, lasers, plasmas, and nanos are mentioned. So that's pretty interesting. If you get a bunch of weapons on your robot, like you're using 12, you should be able to fire all of them at once now. So pretty interesting. Nano disruptors fire their beams as a short pulse in a round-robin fashion, as opposed to multi-beam at once. Additionally, nanos will deliver significantly faster burst heal rate if you add more to your robot, but at the cost of depleting your power more quickly. To compensate the nanos' new burst heal potential, the nanos longer deal damage to the enemies. They are exclusively heal only. Well, that's kind of a major detraction. So basically, nano cannons no longer are going to be a combat weapon. They're only going to heal, but they'll be more effective at healing. However, you can't do damage with them anymore. So if you were playing one of the old healer-only builds, you're going to definitely need to change it up to be able to do damage too. But the nice thing is, with the maximum loadout now in this patch, you'll be able to do that pretty easily. Let's continue. It says Tesla blades are now only open when they are selected. If you switch weapons, they close. That's interesting. So you have to actually select Tesla blades if you have them on your vehicle now to use them. So if you're using your SMGs, your Tesla blades close. It says Teslas do not cool down at all and no longer get destroyed when you make contact with an enemy, and no longer need you to heal them to regain their ammo. So Tesla blades are a little bit stronger in a way too. You have to select them on, but when you have them on, they are going to be more deadly as they don't go away once they hit something. Tesla blades now act like futuristic chainsaws. So the longer you have them in contact with your enemy, the more damage they deal. So they did change the whole damage design of Tesla blades, so they're not instant impact and disappear. It's going to probably be more of a damage over time weapon. So we'll see how powerful they are tomorrow, because they don't give any specific numbers here in the patch notes. Each Tesla blade that is in contact with an enemy will deal damage per second and consume power at the same rate. The more Teslas you have, the more damage per second you deal, and the more power per second you consume. So if you have like one of those vehicles that flies around that has 12 Tesla blades on it, and you hit somebody, it's going to deplete your power really quick. And it will also probably ramp up pretty quick too if you have 12 of the Tesla blades on it. But if you just have a couple, you probably do a lot less damage than you did before to start with, but maybe more the longer you have in contact with them. It should be interesting to see how that changes the dynamics of Tesla blades for sure. It says here in the next note, all weapons now rotate their turrets at the same speed. The faster speed basically is similar to the laser. So the plasmas are no longer going to be dirt slow compared to SMGs. Everything's going to turn at the same speed, so you can catch people with those shots a little bit easier than you used to. Firing weapons no longer resets the health regen cooldown timer, so now only taking damage prevents you from regenerating. So that's interesting. So you can now fire weapons at an enemy or something like that while you're waiting to regenerate. You just can't get hit. If you get hit, then you don't regenerate. But if you are wanting to stay and be active and doing something with your team, you don't have to go hide in a corner now and just pray for 10 seconds that you don't get shot. So I like that. I like that change a lot. Not so crazy on the nano change, but I do like the changes pretty much on everything else. Let's go here to the next items. It says free premium for everyone. We have added a new email reward system. When you log in, you'll see a dialog box with instructions. If you provide a valid email address, you will get 1 day of premium for free. We will then send you a test email, and if you click that link inside, you will validate your email address. And the next time you log in, you will receive an additional 3 days of premium for free. We are doing this because we like to be able to send you emails when we release major updates, and we'll never spam you or share your data as per our terms and conditions, and you can unsubscribe at any time with a single click. So basically, if you're willing to provide emails to them, they will give you 1 day of premium, and I guess if you then go ahead and confirm those emails as your own, you get 3 days of premium. So that could be interesting. Let's see here. The next topic for discussion is other changes. And let's start here. It says, added more connection points to larger aerofoils and rudders. They also increased the health of larger aerofoils and rudders, increased the top speed of aerofoils and rudders, and increased the flap force of aerofoils and rudders to be more agile. All above aerofoil and rudder changes are also applied to the Bat and Vampire versions. So if you have any of those cool looking ones, they also get these changes. Reduced ground damage of aeroflak. Reduced health per volume factors on cubes increased, so slopes now have less health, for example. League system recently changed to award to a full star every time you rank up, and you lose a star every time you rank down. So yeah, that's been in the game for a little bit. I guess it's just kind of reminding us. Enemies spotted audio change to be less intrusive while in battle arena, and added more servers to reduce the numbers of concurrent games of each server, freeing up memory, CPU capacity, and reducing the load, ensuring a more consistent and lag-free game experience. So they've improved things a little bit on their side to make the game smoother for people with faster connections. Robocraft ranking and arrow flag increased to reduce usage in lower class matches versus new players. Gun aiming no longer makes your gun point at your ally if they fly in front of your camera. So if you know what they mean there, basically when people get too close to you, your guns kind of auto-aim at them. I don't know if you've ever noticed that when going under one of those fusion towers, but that's happened to me a lot, so I'm glad that's fixed. The next item here says you can now overclock to level 15 in Battle Arena. And the next item is Battle Area Fusion Shield now automatically goes down at 20 minutes, and protonivity escalates faster with the aim of ending battles between 15 and 20 minute mark. Oh, so that's pretty interesting. So they increased the decreased the amount of time it takes to kind of get to the end of the match, so both shields go down and people just go at it at the end. And then also made it easier to knock those crystals off the shield generator. That's kind of a welcome change, as I always kind of thought Battle Arena games lasted just a little bit too long. Let's continue here now with bug fixes and improvements. So, fix the bug where players who were not the leader of a platoon can still invite people to platoon via the drop menu. Fix the bug allowing you to sometimes shoot whilst using your realignment rectifier. Fix the bug where cubes that extend outside the mothership bounds did not have the correct collision in battle. Fix some bugs caused when large objects were placed outside of the mothership bounds. Fixed a center of mass of arrow rods. The profanity filter now enabled for robot names. That's funny. Fixed a bug where sometimes switching to the CR off and back caused graphical glitches in your garage. Fixed an issue where vampire wings and vampire rudders were incorrectly set up, so they now behave the same as aerofoils and rudders. I kind of mentioned that earlier, but I guess it's good to just tell everybody again, huh? Here the next part says some improvements to reduce frame stalls and increase average frame rates. Fixed some intermittent crash bugs. Fixed a bug allowing plasma shots to sometimes pass through the base shield. Fixed a bug allowing players to shoot onwards through the enemy fusion shield. Fix a bug where inviting new players to platoon sometimes did not work. Fix a bug where on rare occasion it was possible to go above 100% health. Ensured that all types of Tesla blades can now be placed one cube apart when placed parallel to each other. Oh, that's kind of cool. So now if you want to stack Tesla blades right next to each other, one cube away, you can do that, whereas before they kind of had a problem with the area near them not being able to allow you to do that. So that should kind of help facilitate people in building their new creations after the patch tomorrow. Fix an issue which let the CRF show uncapped robot rankings. Fixed a price error when the Electroplate H and Electroplate and Electroshield H cost the same RP but not the same GC. Fix the bugs would cause the garage bays of a new player to start from 1,000. Okay, that'd be interesting to start with 1,000 bays. Fix the bugs which occasionally cause players to not rank up when winning in the top 50% of league games. Fix the bug causing Tesla damage to not be recorded when hitting megabots. Fix the bug which allowed players to be shot even when out of range or distance. Oh, that's interesting. So I guess it was a bug before. If you were able to see someone's name and you fired and it hit them, you would still be able to hit them. So I guess that's been fixed. That's good. Fixed a lock-on missile launcher texture. Placed the text LML with LOML. So basically the incorrect little text on the side of those missile launchers got fixed. And then the final note here is spiked electroplates can no longer be put on megabots. Okay, well, interesting. So there's kind of a lot of changes here tomorrow. The biggest ones I'd say are definitely going to be the new shield and the blink module, as we got some new components that aren't weapon related, but will add some new strategy to the game. And then also the inclusion of power and cooldown times for each of the weapons. And then the biggest elephant in the room is being able to put all these different types of weapons on the same robot at the same time, and not having a cap also on those number of weapons. So it's really going to be a big change, and definitely something that I'm going to have to look at all my robots and do a lot of redesigning, or just kind of wiping them all off and then starting fresh with a fresh slate and creating some new exciting robots here in Robocraft. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Heather78 and everybody else I've played with recently in Robocraft. And if I'm in game and I'm not building a robot or recording a video, I'm usually up to play with you guys. So definitely add me as a friend on Robocraft with Rollin or GamerGuide as the player name. Well, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed those patch notes. Thank you very much for joining me here at GamerGuide channel. And I'm looking forward to the new patch and seeing how it improves the game, and also hope it brings new players here to the game too, so we can enjoy Robocraft together and have the game kind of grow with us, our community base. And if you guys are new here, please subscribe. I'd appreciate that very much. Leave a comment down below. Love to hear what you guys think about this, what you like, what you don't like about it. And I look forward to seeing you guys here soon for some more Robocraft and other videos here on GamerGuide channel. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys later.